you think Peppa Pig is just a silly kid show, then you're missing out on one of the best sources of laughter on TV. The little pink pig and her friends go through so many hilarious moments that even adults can't help but crack up. Can you remember the funniest and most embarrassing moments from the pig family and their friends? Well, today, we're bringing back some of those iconic scenes. Skydiving. If you didn't laugh at this episode, you need to watch it again. The whole town gets excited when Peppa convinces everyone that Mummy Pig will go skydiving to raise money for the school roof. Madame Gazelle hires Mr. Rabbit as the parachuting instructor. That makes sense, after all. Rabbits jump a lot. But when Mummy Pig asks if she needs training, he casually replies, "Training for what?" As if he has no clue that she's about to fall from the sky. Then, Mummy Pig takes the tiniest little hop, and Mr. Rabbit immediately declares that she's good to go. And the grand finale? Daddy Pig falls out of the plane and crashes exactly on the same spot on the school roof they were trying to fix. Absolutely unforgettable. Now, get ready because we're about to go through 15 incredibly funny moments from Peppa Pig. Glitter. If you've ever used glitter, you know it's practically indestructible, and Madame Gazelle seems very aware of that. In the episode Masks, kids are at school and want to use glitter to decorate their art projects. But when Suzy asks for it, the teacher looks absolutely terrified. Her eyes even cross from pure shock. She finally gives in and goes to get the glitter. But instead of just opening a drawer, she heads for a locked door. And when we say locked, we mean really locked. First, a wooden door, then a massive metal vault. All of this, just to store one tiny jar of glitter. In the end, she was totally right, 'cause once glitter spills, it never comes off. Meme-worthy moment. Miss Rabbit has fainted. If you've never heard this phrase, you probably haven't spent enough time on the internet. This audio went so viral worldwide that even people who've never watched Peppa Pig recognize it.
Miss Rabbit has fainted. Miss Rabbit has fainted again.
The scene comes from the episode The Queen. Miss Rabbit, who's always overworked, receives a letter from none other than Queen Elizabeth II herself. When she finds out she's receiving a medal for all her hard work, she immediately faints on the spot. And to make it even funnier, after the Queen greets her, she faints again. The narrator makes everything even more hilarious by calmly stating, "Miss Rabbit has fainted again." The internet loved this scene so much that memes and videos using this audio are everywhere. Let's be honest, just thinking about it is enough to make you laugh. The zoo. This episode is a comedy masterpiece. Madame Gazelle takes her class on a field trip to the zoo, but things go off the rails immediately. As soon as they arrive, a zookeeper appears out of nowhere, and Madame Gazelle panics, yelling, "The lion has escaped." Now, let's be real. In the real world, lions are natural predators of gazelles. But this is Peppa Pig. All the animals here are friends, or are they? The situation gets even funnier when Mrs. Crocodile shows up, and Madame Gazelle freaks out again. And honestly, this time, her reaction makes total sense because let's be real, how does a crocodile fit into this universe where most characters are mammals? Potato Trouble. Mr. Potato is a celebrity in Peppa's world, and in this episode, he visits the school to teach kids about healthy eating. He starts his speech by encouraging everyone to eat lots of fruits and vegetables. But then, Peppa asks the ultimate question that completely ruins his credibility. Should we eat potatoes too? Now, let's think about this for a second. Mr. Potato is a giant talking potato, so Peppa is basically suggesting that the kid should eat others of his kind. His facial expression says it all, and this scene instantly became one of the funniest in the entire show. And you? Do you prefer fries or baked potatoes? Comment below fries or baked so we can see which one wins. Gaming grandparents. Teaching grandparents how to use a computer can be quite a challenge, and in Grandpa Pig's case, it gets even funnier. In the episode where he gets a new computer, Peppa takes it upon herself to teach him how to use the machine, which, at least in their imagination, is a high-tech gaming PC. Everything seems to be going fine until Granny Pig discovers a chicken egg-laying game and becomes completely addicted. She clicks so much that she ends up placing over 4,000 eggs on the screen, causing the computer to crash and say the now iconic phrase, "I'm broken, I'm very broken." It's impossible not to laugh at this scene. The P, a super simple joke, yet hilarious because of how basic it is, happens in the episode where Mr. Potato visits Peppa's school. All the students are excited because they get to send their drawings to Mr. Potato's TV show. Everyone works hard to make creative and detailed illustrations, well, everyone except Emily Elephant. This smart little elephant decides to think outside the box and creates the most minimalist drawing possible. A P. Yes, just a tiny green dot in the middle of a piece of paper. Now imagine this scene. The teacher tells everyone to draw vegetables, and someone hands in just a single green dot, confidently calling it a P. That takes some guts. Don't be as lazy as Emily. Like the video before you forget. Dance moves. If there's one character who always makes us laugh, it's Mummy Pig. And one of her funniest moments happens when she decides to let loose on the dance floor. In the episode about Grandpa Pig's attic, she finds an old children's music record that she used to listen to as a kid, and without a second thought, she starts dancing like crazy to the songs. The funniest part? The music includes a game where people have to imitate different animal sounds. So out of nowhere, Mummy Pig starts chirping like a bird and barking like a dog. And the most absurd detail? She's a pig. The scene is so unexpected that you can't help but burst out laughing.
Ow, pew, ow, pew, ow, ow, ow.
And if you want to keep laughing at even more funny moments like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. The whole, have you ever seen someone try to fix a small problem and end up making it way worse? Well, that's exactly what Mr. Bull does in this episode. While repairing a road, he realizes he needs to replace a pipe, which is totally understandable. But when it's time for tea, he accidentally breaks the teacups and has to rush to Miss Rabbit's pottery shop to buy new ones. Inside the shop, he notices a hole in the middle of the street. Now, any normal person would just ignore it and go about their day, but not Mr. Bull. Instead of simply walking past it, he decides to dig deeper just to see what's at the bottom. And how does he fix it? Instead of covering it up, he grabs a jackhammer and makes it even bigger. What happened to the hole after that? We'll never know because the episode just ends there. Mr. Fox's tricks. If there's someone who never misses an opportunity, it's Mr. Fox. He just never gives up trying to trick people with his clever schemes. One of the funniest moments in the series happens when he shows up in Grandpa Pig's yard, pretending he's just taking a casual walk. But in reality, he's got his eyes on Grandpa Pig's chickens. Mr. Fox, do you really think anyone is going to believe that story? No matter how much he tries to convince us that he was just passing by, it's obvious what he was up to. Sometimes you feel like calling the police, but the scene is so funny that you just can't stop laughing. The chair. If there's one thing Madame Gazelle loves doing, it's organizing fundraisers to fix the school roof. And with every new fundraiser, families gather to donate and sell old items. Peppa, of course, wants to get rid of something valuable, George's beloved dinosaur. But thankfully, Mummy and Daddy Pig step in and tell her that's not okay. The funny part? Mummy Pig ends up doing exactly what she told Peppa not to do. She secretly donates Daddy Pig's favorite chair without him knowing. And the biggest joke of all? Daddy Pig ends up buying back his own chair without realizing it. To make matters worse, Miss Rabbit convinces everyone that it's a rare and antique piece, so he ends up paying an absurdly high price for it. Poor Daddy Pig. Suzy and her love for cutting trees. Suzy Sheep has a very unique way of solving problems, and let's just say, her ideas aren't always the most reasonable. In the episode where the kids are playing in the woods, Dr. Hamster shows up looking for her runaway pet tortoise, who, strangely enough, loves climbing trees. As if that wasn't weird enough, Suzy suggests a rather extreme solution. Cut down the tree! Suzy, seriously? Chopping down a whole tree just because a tortoise climbed up? That might be a bit of an overreaction. But the funniest part? This wasn't the first time Suzy thought cutting down a tree was the answer to everything. In another episode, when a ball got stuck in the branches, she had the exact same idea. Just knock down the entire tree to get it back. Good thing no one actually listened to her. Now here's the real question. If Leo, her imaginary friend, ever climbed a tree, would she suggest the same solution? This channel brings you new Peppa Pig videos every single day. So, we've lined up more hilarious moments for you to enjoy. See you next time.